on my background. I was born in Idaho, raised in Central Washington, second daughter of what turned out to be 6 children, and I got married at a pretty early age and was married for 33 years and worked at a number of different things. When my kids, I have 2 children, and when my kids were in grade school, I went back and finished college and got my degree in communications. And so that's kind of my background. Yeah. John and I met in college, and I was actually playing my guitar and singing at a mass, and he happened to be there and kind of was interested in me. I didn't even notice him. But we kind of started dating, and I was 19 when we got married, and he finished college, and I worked, and then we were married for 33 years, and he was in the middle of a kind of a life crisis, I guess, and had left a job he had with the city of Portland as a manager, and was really struggling for several years. And he kind of had finally found a little bit of a niche and was up helping his parents in Central Washington, and was driving their tractor on a very steep, by a very steep drop off, and I got a call one morning at work, and they told me he'd had an accident, and I assumed, maybe he had a broken leg, and actually I never talked to him again because he was gone by the time they life flighted him to Seattle from Yakima, and he was gone by the time I got there. So it was 33 years of marriage and 2 children, and kind of thinking, making plans for future and maybe the retirement down the road, and all of a sudden all the plans were gone, and I had no idea what to do with myself, or not. And I think partly I wasn't even sure who I was anymore after my husband was gone. I just really wasn't even sure who I was. So that was a tough thing for me to figure out. I think that's probably true. Mm-hmm. And I think sometimes it takes a major life-changing event for people to go, wait a minute. I think especially when there's death involved and you kind of come smack up against death, and a 55-year-old husband all of a sudden is dead, it's kind of a wake-up call to look at your own life and figure out what am I doing with my life. Mary Oliver has a poem where she calls it "Your One Wild Life." What are you going to do with your one wild life? And I think that's kind of, we all come to a place, I think, hopefully, where we assess, wait a minute, who am I and what am I doing, and is this the right track, and do I need to think about this? So I've spent 10 years working for the U.S. Senate. I want to see the country. I want to see this country that I love, and see if in fact Oregon really is the best place for me to be, and just kind of experience what it is to be an American, I guess, and to see this country. So, well, in the process of the spiritual exercises that I was doing, I was partly trying to figure out if I wanted to retire, and if I wanted to retire, what I wanted to do, and how I wanted to live my life, and if there was a way that I could do something, I don't know, useful or meaningful with my life at that point. John and I had talked about, when we retired, had talked about getting like a 5th wheel and traveling around the country. It was something we kind of talked about. We'd had travel trailers in the past and done some camping with the family, and that was one of the things that when he first died, that was one of the things I just kind of put away, that whole idea of traveling. I just didn't think that was ever something I could do on my own. But in the process of the retreat, I thought, why can't I? Why can't I do that? I'm competent and capable, and I can do that. So that was, kind of part of the process of deciding if I retire, where am I going to live? I don't know if I can still afford to live in Portland. It's pretty expensive. Pay, my mortgage and my property taxes. And I just, in the process of discerning all that, I just decided, I'm going to do this. So I kind of went on I just decided that I was going to just, there's sort of a call right now. It's interesting in the media right now. I've been watching news, and there's a sort of a turn to simplicity and lightening the load. And that's basically, I did that 3 years ago. I sold the house my husband and I had built in Southeast Portland, and I went through everything, years and years accumulation of papers and things and just household materials and furniture, and got rid of it all. And it was just so freeing not to have to worry about all that stuff. And bought a big 36-foot Class A motorhome, one of the great big bus-like things, and my dog and I decided, we just went traveling for a year. So